something special just happened. Cingular, the leading wireless company, joined with AT&T, the largest broadband provider in America. Now you can connect to your world in faster, richer ways. You still get the fewest drops on the coolest devices and talk on the largest calling community in the nation.
Hey, sis.
What up, bro?
I've been thinking.
Oh, boy.
No. Hear me out.
What is it now?
Well, I think I want to change my wireless service.
Oh, no, not again.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, sometimes you just can't find the right one.
That's true, but no service is perfect.
Right. But hey, do you remember when Cingular and AT&T were literally glued at the hip?
You mean when they co-branded together?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's too bad for Cingular. They really did need AT&T. Now they don't have them anymore and practically are out of business.
Actually, what if I told you it was the other way around?
Nah, really?
Yep.
Well, I can't wait to hear this.
All right, brace yourself. You know, it's so funny how life just changes right before our very eyes. What we once were so used to seeing is suddenly no longer there. Like how our once beloved McDonald's has chosen to make the executive decision to change majority of their locations to a more Starbucks-style format.
I mean, look at them. They look identical.
Precisely. And it's been said that they did this to cater more to their adult customers as opposed to having the kids play place that many of us grew up with. Huh.
Yeah, I can't lie. It does hurt the millennial kid inside me, but I guess it's all part of the circle of life.
Well, speaking of circles, let's get into this circle-shaped globe thing next to the AT&T sign, and let's also bring up this thing, and how this thing helped this thing become great again. And how they kicked this thing to the curb when they were no longer needed.
Sheesh.
So, this brings us to the real question. Did AT&T use Cingular Wireless to become great again? Well, yeah. It's a mystery, really, because their logo partnership was so short-lived, and, well, you know what? Without further ado, let's take a deep dive into the question of the day. Did AT&T really use Cingular Wireless? This is Classic Info.
You know, I've always wondered what happened to Cingular. Before merging with AT&T, they were a standalone store. And once AT&T Wireless got back on its feet, Cingular was nowhere to be found. So what happened?
Right. Well, for starters, AT&T was a very successful company. As a matter of fact, they are the subsidiary of the very first telephone company called the Bell Telephone Company, which was started in 1877 by Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Watson, and Gardner Green Hubbard. Then, in 1885, they formed the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, also known as AT&T. On December 30th, 1899, AT&T acquired the assets of its parent company, American Bell Telephone, becoming the new parent company, and established a network of local telephone subsidiaries in the United States. Now, AT&T and its subsidiaries held a phone service monopoly authorized in 1913 by government authorities with the Kingsbury Commitment. Throughout most of the 20th century, and this monopoly, by the way, was known as the Bell System, and during this period, AT&T was also known by the nickname Ma Bell.
But wait. If we fast forward to 1982, that was the time when U.S. regulators decided to break up the AT&T monopoly, and they required AT&T to divest its local subsidiaries, which they did by grouping them into 7 individual companies. These new companies were known as Regional Bell Operating Companies. They operated long-distance services but faced competition from overseas supplied competitors.
Whoa, wait, sis. Now, I want to see if the audience knows the answer to this.
Okay.
Do any of you know who AT&T biggest overseas competitors were? All right, if you guessed Verizon Wireless, you are incorrect, because the answer is MCI and Sprint, and all those other brands you see up there.
All right, enough of that. Let me get back to what I was saying. So, the long-distance market continued to increase in the 1990s, and this forced AT&T to focus strictly on retaining its market share in that core business area.
But later on in 2000, the company restructured and created a family of 4 new companies: AT&T Wireless, AT&T Broadband, AT&T Business, and AT&T Consumer. The following year, each of the separated companies began trading as public stock and tracking stock, and AT&T Wireless completed its spinoff and became an entirely separate entity. So some experts have said that they feel that AT&T Wireless was not quick enough to focus their core business on long-distance service, and, well, their payment plans weren't very cost-friendly.
Kind of like now.
Hey, well, I guess I can't argue with that. Well, anyway, the experts also felt this accounted for some of the company's problems, like for instance, while companies such as Sprint offered flat rates for long-distance services early on, AT&T remained at the high end of the price scale. Eventually, the company offered a 15-cent per minute flat rate to compete with the lower prices of other small companies. AT&T was also struck hard in 1996 by companies that purchased long-distance service in bulk and then resold to consumers and businesses at less expensive rates.
Wait, hold on. Didn't AT&T admit to being caught off guard by smaller companies offering fierce competition?
Well, actually, that's right. This oversight caused AT&T's long-distance services to underperform. Analysts had expected AT&T's CEO, C. Michael Armstrong, who was the chairman in 1997, to help the struggling corporation recover. In late 2001, analysts also questioned whether the remaining three AT&T companies would flourish after the complete spin-off of AT&T Wireless, which was the fastest growing of the four AT&T companies. By 2002, it was apparent that AT&T had still been slow to react to an increasingly tech-savvy consumer. But AT&T Wireless's decline really climaxed in 2003, when the FCC mandated the allowance of porting numbers to other carriers. They also experienced a mass exodus of many customers who were fed up with years of degrading service and poor coverage.
But that's not the end of it, because in 2003, it had gotten even worse for AT&T, because by the end of 2003, AT&T Wireless faced a public relations nightmare when a new system for adding subscribers and porting numbers in and out was implemented and botched. This problem caused AT&T to realize that it was faced with a nearly impossible situation, and that's when AT&T Wireless officially began their quest of accepting bids in early 2004 to be acquired. Oh, you. Don't worry. We're going to talk about you in a minute. No. That was not a pun. Okay. Here's the thing. There's something about this I just don't understand. Oh, yeah, you might as well hear this too.
Me?
So there's something I just don't get. Cingular, you bought him, but you both were operating under SBC Communications and Bell South.
Well, it's a simple explanation.
Well, we'll just get this whole thing straightened out once we get in the background of Cingular Wireless.
That was a bit dramatic.
Well,
For starters, Cingular was founded in the year 2000.
okay.
And also, it's not that much of a mystery, as Cingular Wireless was actually a joint venture of SBC Communications and Bell South. Remember, AT&T Wireless was a separate entity that formed in 2001.
Oh, that's right. Got it.
Anyway, the joint venture created the nation's second largest carrier. Cingular grew out of conglomeration of more than 100 companies with 12 well-known regional companies along with Bell roots. Now, Cingular's lineage can actually be traced back to Advanced Mobile Phone Service, which was coincidentally a subsidiary of AT&T that was created in 1978 to provide cellular service nationwide. Yes, Advanced Mobile Phone Service was divided among the regional Bell operating companies as part of the Bell System Destitute. So, in February 2004, after a bidding war with Britain's Vodafone, which actually at the time was part owner of Verizon Wireless, it was Cingular Wireless that announced that it would purchase its struggling competitor, AT&T Wireless Services, for $41 billion.
You're joking.
Not joking.
So it was Cingular that bought AT&T Wireless.
That's right, sis, and it was actually more than twice the company's trading value.
That's unbelievable.
Right? So the merger was officially completed on October 26, 2004.
Oh, on my 5th birthday.
You mean your 15th birthday, right?
You're such a hater.
Hey, no shade, sis. We've got to be truthful. We got an audience watching now.
Fine, just proceed with your little commentary.
As I was saying. Now, the combined company had a customer base of 46 million people at the time, making Cingular the largest wireless provider in the United States. It was then that AT&T Wireless was renamed New Cingular Wireless Services, and shortly after, new commercials were shown with the AT&T transforming into the Cingular logo, and with the Cingular logo's text turning blue to acknowledge the change.
Oh, the 5-year-old in me remembers those so well.
Sis, let it go.
Oh, shut up.
They also promoted their popular slogan, Raising the Bar. It was first announced on June 22, 2005, that Cingular Wireless had the intention to divest its Caribbean and Bermuda operations and also the licenses which it acquired from the acquisition of AT&T Wireless to the Irish-owned and Jamaica-based Digicel Group, undisclosed financial terms. So after the short-lived new cellular brand, Ed Whitaker, the then CEO of the newly merged SBC AT&T, announced on November 21, 2005, plans to market Cingular's service under the AT&T brand. In January of 2007, AT&T announces that it would sadly phase out of the Cingular brand across all of its services and replace it with just AT&T. AT&T was courteous to accompany their short-lived AT&T Cingular Wireless customers with an advertisement campaign branding the combined company as the new AT&T. Commercials feature the orange Cingular Jack logo encircling the AT&T globe logo several times, dragging its blue bars behind it to form the globe's blue stripes before finally disappearing behind it, being jacked by the chorus of the Oasis song All Around the World.
Cingular is now the new AT&T.
AT&T added the color orange to its signage to reflect the change. However, AT&T would eventually remove the orange in 2015 following another rebranding relating to its acquisition of DirecTV.
I'm sorry, but that's just messed up. Poor Cingular.
They ripped that blue rug right on underneath that orange flubber.
Sorry. My bad.
But I guess it's as the old saying goes, business is business. But with all of that being said, the question still stands. Did AT&T Wireless use Cingular Wireless?
Well, I say yes. I guess AT&T held on to that orange for as long as they felt they wanted to. Maybe until they felt it just didn't make any sense any longer to hold on to the orange and just chose to go back to their traditional branding of that old blue. Bottom line is, we no longer see Cingular Wireless as a standalone store anymore.
So yes, Cingular was a stepping stone for AT&T Wireless to get back on their feet. I mean, after all, they are the founders of the telephone service and have the best cellular service to date. But the question is, to the audience, do you miss Cingular? Should they make a comeback? Leave a comment below.
Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell for more classic info videos like this one. Until next time.
Your world delivered.